I'm probably gonna talk about a little bit of life, and then just life and stuff, and see what's going on with YC, and how jacked up the world is at this point, and how it goes. And then we'll end in the session with a hypnosis, like we said every session. Again, well, YC, give the audience a little just what's going on and what you think about this game as I update our little title here.
Alright, well, this game is, well, as you say, it's like our old school game. As you can tell, it's been a while since Dragon Ball Z moved into and developed into the boost auto. Right now, we're in the middle of we had a remake of the series and just going in to put out a new update. And I'm sure you all know that everything worked out well now that Dragon Ball Super's out. So, I mean, it's been a while, but actually had improved quite a bit since beforehand, which is why this is an old school game. And
yeah, it's like one of those things where the old, it's still kind of better. I mean, I agree with you this one. I mean, I know we had an argument about, or disagreement, I wouldn't say argument, about how, I agreed on the new games and you agreed on the older games. And I think this was one of the ones that actually, I think still appealed to me. I mean, we'll play and we'll see, and see if I still like it or not. But
and it's often to see it holds up pretty well. I mean, the animation looks pretty good for old school games.
Oh yeah, I mean, look at the animation. I mean, it's pretty good. It reminds you exactly what happened during those times. I mean, brings you back to the good times when Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was still going on. I mean, those were. I know the new Dragon Ball Super, and plus you guys know that there's new Dragon Ball Super Heroes, which looks pretty cool too. There's only 7 episodes. I think the 7th episode just came out, and I still like the old version. I knew these newer ones are actually better than the Dragon Ball GT. I don't know. I didn't really. GT was okay. It just was too much.
I agree from that.
Yeah, but I still like the old version. I mean, especially when he was a kid, Dragon Ball. Yeah. But let's see how it goes. I mean, I think this game's gonna be fun. If anybody even played this game before. So YC. I think Juju, well, Little Yellow ain't gonna be able to join with us today. I think he was out busy chasing girls.
Yep, blowing up. Playing video games, trying to play with girls.
Well, I'm married, so So I'm done with that. Yeah, so it's just one of those things. We're ready to rumble. Let's see how this game plays out. But yeah, well, I see what's going on with your life nowadays.
Oh, well, not that or anything, but I'm pretty much in a job, we're kind of working 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, depending on how much work I have at work. And trying to get my own place, get away from the family, and try to develop and be out on my own. But that also means I have to go and start paying a lot more bills, because I'm currently paying like half the bills. So as soon as I got to pay all the bills. And still, I guess, looking for love, but it's not on my top priority right now.
Okay, I know what you guys are thinking. Gamers, and then you talking about YC that still lives with his parents. Shit happens. And, it's not it's not like he's he's working his ass off, and it's one of those things where we're all trying to find the right job and stuff. I mean, he's like, well, I see what you graduate with.
I graduated with a bachelor's in information systems.
I mean, look, it's hard to find jobs nowadays. I mean, that's the other thing about this freaking world is that I don't get it. Like, tell me you've been applying to jobs, haven't you?
Oh, you've been applying like crazy for jobs.
Yeah, so like, what's up with that? Have you even got an interview or anything like that?
Well, I had some interviews, but they haven't like gone
anywhere
besides that. So it's kind of like you get your foot in the door, you get your job, well, like I interview, and then they say, oh, well, he found somebody else, or the position's been closed. So I've had a couple of those. It's like I had to interview, and then it's just like, well, the position got closed, so we won't be going further with this.
Where did you, like, give me, you don't have to give the company's name because, we're not going to do that, but give me an example of, like, I just lost, this is bullshit. Anyways, but, like, give me, don't give me the company's name, but, like, how big the company was, and, like, was it, how bad was the interview? How did the interview go? How long did it last?
Well, generally, I say that interviews last between 30 and 45 minutes. It was like around 35 minutes. And then just kind of...
What did they ask you? What did they ask you?
Standard stuff like, what do you see yourself in the future? How did you hear about our company? What are your prospects if we decide to hire you? And stuff like that. And your skill range is like, how many years have you had doing such and such, and just stuff like that. So basically,
what was you applying for? What position was it?
Like QA position.
Okay, so like you say QA position. What does that mean?
Like quality assurance, like analysts, like reviewing over information and things like that, and working on code and reviewing that and making sure that it's correct.
So, what type of company is it? Is it like a financial? Is it a bank? Is it, don't have to do anything?
This one in particular was like a bank, but I have applied for a few financial as well as a few computer-focused companies as well.
So, like, okay, how did you feel when you walk in there? Did it feel like they were trying to get exactly what you know about the position, or how did it feel?
Well, that one particular wasn't a walk-in. It was like one of those phone interviews that they can't actually see what you look like or anything. They just go out your answers and conversations and things like that. But it seemed like it went pretty good on mine. And they asked a lot of questions. They were really impressed with my resume and the answers that I gave. But I guess they have all these cutbacks. I'm not sure why, but
did they ask you about salary, how much you wanted and stuff?
No. They tend to try to kind of like take that away from until after they confirm that they're actually going to hire me off a position. I've had like recruiters ask me those questions, and I gave them like a range of estimates, but I tell them I'm always open to negotiations. So.
Alright, so this is how I tell you how it goes. This is why I hate. And by the way, I don't know what buttons I'm hitting. I'm just hitting buttons. This is where the old games are, and it seems like I'm not even doing anything besides any combos or anything. But anyways, okay. So just to let you guys know, I've been on the other end of the interviewer as an employer. I've been CFO of this company. And work my way up, and that's why I believe is you work hard, you get there, and you work your way up. And then in 5 years, became top of my career in accounting. And the problem is, with these things is that I have to interview a lot of folks. Had to go through a lot of resumes, and what I was telling myself is, we've been on the other side where we had to be interviewed. And you know what? In college, what they do is they teach you what to say and what's expected to be asked. And the questions are similar to the same. You're saying, what do you see yourself in 10 years? What do you see? What would you do if if your boss says no. I mean, all these are similar questions that it's all asked. And then in college they teach you how to answer. So
Yep.
you tell me, does that sound fake to you? I mean, what's the point of a job? The job is to find the right employee that can do the job and do it well. Right? Well, does it feel like they can get you to quite the right answers just by asking those specific questions, and then you're taught to know how to answer it? How truthful is that? I mean, you're literally trained to be a robot. I mean, you're trained to answer the way they want you to answer. It sounds like it's more of a salesman. You're trying to sell yourself, and that's what they teach you. You said, when you go to these interviews and stuff, and people teach you, and they say, "Oh, you gotta learn how to sell yourself." Well, you're a computer science. You're not a salesman.
Yep.
You're not. You're an introvert, which means, don't get me wrong, introvert means that you're not. You don't talk much outside.
Yeah, you're not as outgoing. You pretty much try to think to yourself and not as open to talking as an extrovert.
Exactly. So, why is it that you expect to be, and in your job field, you don't really need it.
Exactly.
You don't need it. That's why you picked that job. Because you're good at it, and you're passionate about it, and your potential in it can be a lot more growth than what expected outside. And you can't prove it to them until you actually start working. And if you're expecting to sell yourself, which you're not a salesman, you didn't go into sales for it, and plus, sales, you don't need a job. You don't need to go to college for sales. And you're expected to sell to these folks before you even get the job to prove to them that you can actually do it.
Exactly.
That's retarded. I'll tell you a story. When I was interviewing a lot of these candidates, I told myself that I am not going to be those typical, employers. But you got to understand is it's hard because you got hundreds of resumes that you got to look through, and that's the other thing. What represents you the first 30 seconds? It's not even 30 seconds. First 10 seconds is your resume. So you gotta fit one page. Don't even worry about what people say on other, like they say, oh yeah, put 3 pages and stuff. I understand it. People that has a lot of experience put tons of like 2 or 3 pages. Okay, I'll tell you exactly what I did. I barely looked at them. There was too much. The first thing it said, you look at it, sure, you glance at a couple of them, but you really do only have a couple of seconds to impress me. And you get tired of looking at resumes. I mean, you do. I get tired of looking at resumes. Sometimes I just glance at it and then skip by. And then, you know what? Sometimes it's so dull, I don't even bother looking at it. And then sometimes it's dull enough for me to look at it. So it all even depends on the day that you actually feel good. So you really don't have a good, such a thing as a good resume. It's good as of that day, how that employer sees it. And you know what? When I actually see some of them, I try to rule out a lot of things. And then I guarantee you, look, I'm not saying anything, but I guarantee you, you're taught not to be, stereotype of saying, oh yeah, look, there's an Asian name. That person probably doesn't speak English. Look, I'm not saying that there's a lot there. I'm telling you, there's people out there that still does that. So like my name, I was born and raised not here, but I did, I came here when I was a younger age, so I speak English very well, or to what I think is really well, and I just I'm kicking butt, by the way. So people, my name never changed. I mean, I got my citizenship and everything. You had a chance to change your name then. I just never changed my name. I just, everybody knew me by my name, and I just never changed it. So and I know if I go out and send out a resume, that the first thing they're probably gonna look at is this person probably didn't know English.
Yeah.
Or they're not all of them do that. I mean, I agree. There's not all of them do that, but there are a lot that's still old school that does that, and it's not fair to a lot of these guys. That's just one aspect of what's really going on, and it represents you on paper. So that's like 1 second you get to see, and they see the name first, and they look at the name, and then that's the first thing that pops in their head. Now that doesn't say they're not going to call you, but it does spike up their name. Now once they call you, you can say, "Oh, I speak English very well," then fine, yeah, great. But then you got to suck them in, be a salesman. So what type of I just got my ass kicked, by the way. What type of we know a lot of people know about that. People know that, hey, we need to start thinking outside the box. We need to start looking at, it's not about just education, it's about potential. And it's not about just potential, it's how to get that potential out. You can't just go out and ask for people to have, like right when they get out of college, you can't just ask them, hey, I need somebody that knows that has experience in job. Well, they're not going to have experience because they just got out of college.
Exactly. You're going to have to, you actually have to kind of lie. I mean, I know that's kind of wrong and stuff like that.
That's what people do.
You have to try to lie in order to try to get an opportunity to get your foot in the door.
And the reality is that's what they do. They lie. And then when you actually, that's why people switch jobs sometimes, because they end up lying, and then they end up can't do the job, and then bye. I mean, then you have a tough time at a job and they have to learn it from there. But as an honest person, we don't want to lie.
Yeah.
That's the people that you want. You want people that don't lie. But here's the deal: if you don't lie, you never get the interview.
Exactly.
And you know what? You're taught to lie. You're taught to give the right answers. I mean, I'm an accountant.
Tell me,
I'm an accountant. I'm also into it. But here's the thing. I had to learn really fast. When I took the position of getting hired, higher up, I had to learn how to talk to people, and talk to their executives and owners of companies, owners of banks, CEOs of banks, and VIPs of banks, and VIP of different companies, investors. And that's something I had to learn. I mean, when I was a project manager before I moved up to it, I had to talk to a lot of companies to sell, software and negotiating and stuff. So I had to learn, yes. But that's just the point. That's the point I'm trying to pull across, is that I had a lot of potential that you would never see unless you hired me. And that's just the fact of it. And you're, I'm going to tell you now, companies that don't try to figure out how to hire potential rather than what's on the resume or what's in their interview. Now, there's ways you can ask the interview to make sure that you're getting the potential you want and then see they're not lying. And I've weeded out, when I was interviewing a lot of these folks, I weeded out a ton of people that were just giving me answers that I want to hear. And I ask tough questions. I do. I ask tough questions, and the tough questions is not this typical questions where, hey, where do you see yourself in 10 years? No, it's not that kind of stuff. Or it's pertaining to the job. And if it's not pertaining to the job, what I'm talking about pertaining to the job, I'm not talking about like, oh yeah, how you reconcile, how you do a budget. No, it's like, what would you do? I'll give you a good question here. I gave them examples of actually what would happen. Like, just say, what would you do if you found an error before the actual deadline was about to hit, and you only had 1 day left? What would you do? And you got different questions. That shows your character of, or would they actually go tell the manager and say, hey, there is an error, we can't do this yet, and or hey, let me fix it before you send it out, or whatever answer they may give gives them actually their character. Now, there's a lot of companies that still does that, but the reality is a lot of these employers don't have the time of day anymore that to actually put out that much time to actually think about what they need to ask and what they do. They pull it out of their, whatever they thought during time, but it's the wrong way. And it's really not really that great of a way to figure out how to do it, besides giving them a chance. And, I started a company that I was trying to gear for this, was to help students find jobs by training them of what companies need. So what I mean by that is that, and this is something that it's still in the works, and I really want to get it up and running sooner. But times it's just times will tell. But the idea is to go to companies and tell them, hey, what position are you over is having high turnover time, and then what positions you like to hire for that you always want to be filled, and we would actually go in that position and then write a manual on how to do it, and then train our own employees for that position. And we would train them more than just one company. We'll train them multiple places, and then they'll figure out how, and they'll ace it. They'll test for it, and they have hands-on experience with it. So when they do, they can always. That means they have experience. College students will have experience, and then they can actually come and actually agree that they have experience enough to actually do the job, and understand that they actually have the potential enough. It's testing out the potential, right? That's what we need. Is a way people know that the potential is this high. Like video games, you can say, hey, the growth potential for this person is this much, and this is how much they know already. That's what we need. And I don't know. It just makes me hard, because it's just like how you are right now. Why I say is like it's hard for you to apply for a job because it's hard to get back up there. And the reality is, most of these companies you're applying for, they already have somebody in mind to hire on.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's a family member, I bet, or a friend, especially government contractors. Especially, I'm just telling you. And then, it's just one of those things, man. I mean, be honest with you, right now is right now is trying to. I'm in a position that I can actually looking for a job as myself to help out consulting wise with a lot of people, and I'm back in consulting work, but at the same time I'm doing I'm also going back and trying to see if I'm looking for a job as well. But it's the same concept. I mean, I got a lot of experience, and I'll tell you my example. I've got a lot of experience. I don't have a CPA. Don't have a CPA because I never thought I needed it. Because I got my potential. I made it in 5 years. I made it as a CFO in the company. Started all the way from the bottom, and I made it all the way to CFO. Never had a CPA. Well, when people look at my resume, what they're going to say? They're going to say, well, you don't have a CPA, and you've been a CFO. This is probably a small company. And no, I stated in my resume that this is a multi-million-dollar company. And I manage over 30 different branches. That means 30 different profit and loss statements. And what that means is it's almost like 30 different companies. Invoices going up to about, I handle about almost 200 or 300 invoices, and there was like 200 or 300 employees, and each 30 branches has invoices and bills and payroll that we had to handle, and then emails wise, it goes up in yin yangs. I have to answer questions for and meeting with, all that stuff. But yet at the same time, what they want from me is a CPA, which understood. But I can never hit a CFO position out there without a CPA. I can't. They won't hire me. Or even a controller, they try to look for 10 years experience instead of 5.
Yeah.
So they're not they're looking for experience. I get that. It needs to be something, but guess what? Potential is a lot greater. You see a lot of these other guys, you're saying, okay, this is the max they can go, because this is what their potential is. The meter is 1 to 10. This person's meter is only 3, and then their experience is it's 1 to 10, and they're 8, right? Well, I'm just telling you, just say my potential is 8, maybe even 10. That's how much I've outdone myself. I give myself a 10, right? And my experience is 5. I'm only 3 away from the actual experienced person. But my potential is not just the 10 will be maxed. I feel like my potential can actually reach to 12 to expand that potential even outside the box. But people don't see that. It's just like you right now. You have experience.
Yeah, and I still have the contract position too. But
yeah, you do. Same here. Thing is, we're all looking for better jobs, better pay. That's just how things are. That's what people, better job, better pay, so we can do, but the thing is, it's hard to do that. Hard to do that because people aren't going back. They're not looking into our potential. They're not looking at potential. They're looking at, what's on the resume and what's the interview say, and it's just BS. I'm just telling you, it's not. Stuff is going down the drain. People know that they shouldn't be doing that, but they're doing that anyway.
Yeah, and another aspect in the whole thing is probably, which I really don't like, is the whole race and gender thing where they try to interpret that. So I guess trying to meet a quota. I get that you're trying to be more diverse, but I think that a company should look at the skill set of a person rather than just saying, oh well, we have enough Asians or we have enough men, so let's go on and try to hire the next thing in order to make our group look better.
I see what you're saying. When I started the company where I was, when I was the only Asian in the office. Everybody else was white. Maybe one Mexican girl. Yeah, that's how it was. I don't know what you mean.
They did like a test like this before. I had a company, I forgot the name of it, but it was a while ago where they took all the names off and the genders and race and things like that, and they just looked over the resumes. But they said that they ended up hiring more men, I think it was white men, than anybody else, so they kind of stopped doing that, I guess, because it didn't prove what they were trying to do. So, and I get that some people have better experiences in life and stuff like that, but when it comes to skill sets and things like that, you need to try to go off of how good the person is rather than just trying to move it forward.
Yep, I agree with you. Like I'll give you an example. There was a guy. It comes back to he's Caucasian male, and he's worked as a manager, but he's also a very good salesman. But he got sold. They hired him and he said, yeah, he's gonna be great. He's managing of this and he's gonna be doing this job and he's gonna be doing it great because he's done it from someone else. They were proud. They were like, oh yeah, I pretty much took this guy from another company. So they were kind of proud of paying him a pretty good salary and everything. And then I worked with him. I was a project manager, so I worked a lot with him. And then you know what? He was lazy. When topic, right. So, but and after that, once it settled down, he didn't do nothing. He'll come in at seven sometimes, or 8 or something, and then he'll leave at 3 or 4. And you know, owners, here's the deal. As a manager, you're expected to do what you're expected to do to get the job done right. I mean, he just went by hiring the. Underneath him, he had the right people in charge to take care of the certain stuff that, you know, he didn't have to. As a manager, he should be, but he had somebody else do it. I mean, I know all that. You know, a lot of people do that. But you know what? You know, that's the kind of stuff that these people are hiring him, because he has all this stuff I'm looking for in a manager and stuff like that. He's a great. He talked to interview. He nailed it out. He handled everything. He knew exactly how to do it, but yet he was dang lazy.
Yeah, I kind of hate that too.
Well, I mean, he didn't have potential. The guy didn't really know how to do any of that stuff for real. He knew how his subordinate do it, and how they talked about it and complaining to him, and then he knew the idea of what is going on, and then he explained it back. But he didn't know how to really do it. So that's the kind of stuff that you guys are hiring, if you're not careful. I mean, I try to preach this, and I lived it. I mean, when I was hiring these guys, I had about 14 employees in accounting that worked for me, and I hired majority of them because there were some that were still there before, that I worked with, of course, kept potential, most of them, and then I hired the majority of the others. But what I hired was not experienced. I hired potential. And what I mean by that is I hired kids that came out of college, or if they were, in college, I try to push, way before they almost get out of college. And I hired the potential that they can actually grow. Once they got out, I offered, you can offer more money and or the kids that already just got out, I saw if they can do well, I hired them. Well, what I did was, with that strategy, you had to train. So I had to train them. I trained them personally. After I trained them, I handed it off to one of my, accounting managers to actually train the rest of the way. But I train them personally to make sure that they know exactly how important certain positions is, and how this affects another position. Like, I wanted them to know that, hey, when you're reconciling this account, this affects this side of payables, and that it affects how we pay, one of our managers, and if they even made enough money or not. That's all in the works of the company. I made sure they know that, so that when they were doing their reconciling or whatever they're doing, they're double checking, triple checking, and it doesn't hurt to do that, because that's what I did. I tripled, sometimes 10 times. I checked it 10 times to make sure it's right. I worked late hours to 2 o'clock in a.m. one time, just to make sure that I was doing it right. Because you know what? When I was doing it, they during the time they had layoffs, and so I had to take on more positions, more jobs. That they lay off before I had the training to even do it, and no one there knew how to do it. So I had to teach myself. I had to teach myself. I went and looked at the old history, and then the knowledge I had, and then searching Google, and then we had CPAs, that worked with us as during the audits, that we had consulting for, just in case. But I made sure I tripled and even 10 times checked it at 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. I was still at the office to make sure it was right. And you know what? It was right. It was all right. And even the small things that no one told me besides. I found out stuff that the person that was doing it before the one that got laid off, wasn't even doing right. That I found ways to do it right. That owner had to give me a pat on the back for it. To make sure that I was doing it right. And it was the small details that I even caught myself that the old employee didn't do right. But that's come back from the potential. That's the potential I'm talking about. You gotta hire. I'm not saying you gotta hire people like. Yes, I am saying that you gotta hire people like me. That that whole that's potential. I'm not going out and trying to sell myself and say da 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 da, which I kind of am now. But again, I learned how to be a salesman now at this point. I don't really sell anything. I'm just stating the truth of what can happen. I look at both sides of the story, and I can express myself, is what I'm saying. Now, because I've dealt with a lot of people, and I express myself better. I express my words better. I know how to talk to people. But you just gotta be careful of the people that are selling you stuff. That they don't really know what they're talking about, and they know just enough to explain to you what you need to know, and they come going off like they know everything. Anyways, I think we talked too long on this nonsense. It's kind of getting me fired up about it. But anyways, if you guys want to hire somebody that really want to take care of your company. Just like the CEO of Amazon, his stated is if you take care of your employees will take care of you. And this is the same concept here.
Yep. And unfortunately with that, though, yeah, he's getting divorced. So
he's getting divorced.
Yep. So his wife gonna get like how many billions? Like half, like.
Oh no!
Yeah,
she's gonna get a lot of money.
She's getting a lot of money.
Well, either way, even with him, she would have got a lot of money.
Yep.
So she was set up anyway. She's set with money regardless. Even if she was married with him, she still had tons of money. But whatever. Just take care of your employees. But first of all, hire the right employees that will take care of you. I'm just saying the people with a big potential is going to work really hard, and even if you're not taking care of them and you're not thinking of them, they're still going to work really hard.
Yeah, I know it's a gamble, like when it comes to different people, but you have to be able to tell some sort of potential, especially doing interviews, whether they're going to actually work or not.
Yeah, I just at this point, I'm trying to find something better, which I'm applying for controller positions, and I'm doing certain things, and I'm getting interviews back, but at the same time is like I just told you guys that I'm trying to explain to these guys that hey, you can't. One of the questions he sent me was like, look, you only got 5 years experience, and I need somebody 8 to 10. But can you tell me something that can change my mind? I told him, look, I told him a story. I told him that, I'm a guy that has a lot of potential, and it's not just me saying that, but you can see in my resume, and you can actually see in real life that I actually did these things, and I'm not lying. Is that I've saved the company that I am with $100,000 a day in cash. They made, they improved. When I said save, I improved $100,000 a day And you know what? I got some kudos from it, but majority wasn't. There was no credit given.
Yeah.
They saw it, but here's the deal: was I still worked my butt off because I'm still gonna do what I'm gonna do. But the fact is, what I told them, I said, look, people were against of what my plans was to get us to that 100,000 improvement. There was legitimate words, legitimate rules and stuff and policies that they set out to me that the other investors wouldn't do for us because of their policy and procedure, whatever. And my stuff was, of course, it wasn't against the law or anything. It was just more of it's a strategy and it can be done. And they were just saying that I don't think the investor's going to do it. Well, I said, look, that's just how things work. It's business. And if we don't try it, it's not going to work. So I kept talking to them, and then eventually I said, just give it a try. They say no, they say no. That's pretty much I told them. I said, okay. So we had like 5 or 6, 7 investors in the time. And I went to every one of them. I said, look, this is what we can do. And you know what? If you guys did this, I can give you this type of document to make your job a little easier. And this, look, 5 out of 7 of them did it. Did what the strategy that I came up with. And that's all I needed. So, moral of the story is, for me was, I was one of the person that thinks outside the box, and I'm gonna get what that's gonna help to get the company, regardless if you guys get with me or against me. But I'm gonna try, and I succeeded, and I succeeded, and no one believing that it would be succeed, and to be able to think outside the box. That's the kind of the company I was like. That's the kind of people you want in your company. That's just how it says, I want everybody, if every single one of the person I had a company and I worked that did exactly like that, the company would be thriving. It's just.
But I think we should be wrapping it up for today.
We still haven't done a hypnosis yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you got me fired up.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, it's just retarded. It's, expecting people to, sell themselves, and that's not what position is really about. And then setting out these job interviews that these people won't ever really get the job because they already have somebody set in mind to take the job, and then hiring folks that are just completely salesmen that don't know left and right, and then you're asking for not looking for potential. The only reason I'm looking for it is because I want to make more money, just like everybody else, and I want to grow more. I want to be, just like everybody else. But, anyways, what else? By the way, this game, I can't figure out how to do freaking Kamehameha blast like these other guys do. I'm just pressing buttons and it's not working.
Well, you gotta read the instructions, I guess.
Well, this is an old superhero game. I don't know what the instructions are. But, what else? I guess we're gonna need to wrap up the game part and then go to hypnosis and then call it a day. YC gotta go, I guess. You got somewhere to be, don't you?
Yep. Supposed to leave my cousins out at 8, so I have to kind of wrap it up quick today.
Alright, so, I think we only had 2 viewers the whole time.
Popping in and out. Yeah, we ain't heard half as much today.
Yeah, it's alright. So, let's see here. I'm gonna have to in hypnosis. Okay, well, we'll do it without the little blurred light. I just want you guys to, again, everybody needs to be safe. I want you to, if you guys are listening, I want you to go ahead and get it recorded. Your camera, you put it on record and put it somewhere, and then sits either on the floor or somewhere you can't be hurt. There's no sharp objects, there's nothing there. And then I want you to just relax. If you're looking at the screen, if you want to close your eyes, you can. But if you're looking at the screen, just look at the focus on the yes on the screen. And I want you to just relax. I want you to just take a couple deep breaths. Breathe in with your nose. Breathe out with your mouth. Breathe in with your nose. Breathe out with your mouth. Just relax. Every time you breathe in out, you hear my voice. As you hear my voice, your focus is on your breathing. Breathe in, breathe out. More and more relaxed. As you more and more relax, you can hear my voice. As you hear my voice, you just breathing in, breathing out. As you breathe in, you feel deeper and deeper relaxation. Relax your shoulders, relax your arm, relax your fingers, relax your back, relax your legs, relax your feet, your head to your toes. Just take a breathe in. Every time you hear my voice, you just feel more and more relaxed. Every time you hear my voice, you hear more and more relaxed. Every time you're more relaxed, you hear my voice. As you hear my voice, you're taking a deep breath. As you keep a deep breath, you hear my voice, you feel more and more relaxed. As you're more and more relaxed, you're taking a deep breath, and a deep breath, you get more and more relaxed. Every time you relax, you're just going deeper and deeper relaxation. You're just getting deeper and deeper. You feel more and more relaxed. Your arms are just feeling deeper and deeper. Your eyes are feeling heavy and heavy as you get deeper and deeper. As you hear my voice, you get deeper and deeper relaxation. You just close your eyes. Your eyes feel deeper and deeper. Your eyes are at this point just feels heavy. You're just going to feel more and more heaviness and you feel sleep. You sleep. Just relax, relax, and just fall deeper and deeper asleep. Deeper and deeper asleep. You just more and more relax. At this moment, you just imagine yourself on a cloud. On a cloud, just floating away. Relax. As you touch the cloud, you just feel deeper and deeper relaxation. As your head to your toes, just more and more relaxed. And then you just feeling deeper and deeper, deeper. And you just feeling very, very mellow. Feeling fantastic. All your worries are just disappearing. All the stress that you have is just gone. All the depression is just gone. And all that comes down is just enjoyment, relaxation, happiness, peace. You're more and more focused now. You're more and more active. You feel more and more energy. And just more and more relaxation. The more and more you relax, the more relaxed you are, the more focused you are. The more focused you are, the more relaxed you are, the more happy you are. And at this moment, you just feel more and more happy. You let go of all the stress, all the tension in your back and your neck. Let go of it all. And at this point, you just relax. I want you to think of something that you enjoy doing, and after you wake up, you're just gonna try to enjoy doing it. And then remember and appreciate everything in life. Appreciate your parents for taking care of you. And appreciate everything that you have or you don't have. And that just more and more relaxed. And at this moment, know that you have been hypnotized. You don't remember anything, but you just remember that you have more and more focus, more and more energy, and you're relaxed, and you're happy, and you're let go of all stress. 1, 2, 3, wake up. Alright, this moment that, everybody just wake up. If you're still hypnotized, wake up. Just feel more and more relaxed, feeling great, feeling more energy, and then go back and look at your video if you recorded it, and show us the video if you actually recorded it, and you're impressed that you didn't know you were hypnotized or not, and that's it. So wake up, everybody, and subscribe if you like the channel. And I know we ramble a little too much on just job and stuff like that. It got me on Grand page. Wise is here trying to keep me in track here, and
what do you think happened though? So
yeah, no, I'm just pissed off for people like that is looking for a job, that does have potential to find a job, have potential to do their job really well, but they don't have a chance to do it. But yet they find jobs that they end up not liking, and then working 9 to 5, they hate their job, even though they're trying to apply for things that they know they can do, and they know they can do right, but they don't have the experience to do it because these guys won't hire them. But then they go in and find jobs that they're not good at, they're not passionate at, and they don't have a potential into it. Now, potentially lies in a lot of different ways. Now, before just closing up, the last thing I'm going to say is that potential is mostly stuff that you like, you're good at doing, and there's more potential in that. Now, that person still may have potential, but if they're doing something they don't like, potential may not be as great because they don't like it, they hate it, and that's what's going on. That's why people hate their jobs. Is because people aren't hiring them for the job that they want to do. I know what you want to do is write a story and write a game and then actually get where you need to be. Well, if someone will hire you to do that, you have time to do it, then you'll be great at it because you have potential in it. You love it. You're passionate about it. So you're going to do great things in it. But if they
don't pay you that much.
Exactly. But if it gives you what you love to do, and I guarantee you'll love doing that. Even if you don't make much more money, you still make a living. You get to do what you love. That's the thing. But people working 9 to 5 hate their job is because of that reasons. I'll close it at that. BYC out. That's why it got me up and read, because I want people to get where they want to be, and I want them to be happy doing it. And that's why I'm starting this company that can do this. And this right here, what we're doing right now, playing games, talking about this kind of stuff, doing a podcast. This is what I like to do. Now, we're just starting, and you like it, right?
Yeah.
So we're doing it because we're doing what we like, and we're trying to put up more time out to do it. But the fact is, again, we're trying to put our own hands to get out of this. Again, we're just starting out. We don't know what works and what doesn't work. But the fact is, we're doing it because we like to do it. And if it does work out where we want it to be, then we're doing what we love. At least we're trying out there to do it. And these people out here, they hate their job. They're doing a 9 to 5, and when they get home, they're super exhausted because they hate it so much. They don't have the energy to do it. They put all the energy they had, that was passion, that was creative, into the stuff they hated, and they wasted all their energy in that. They come home, they're exhausted. They can't do nothing. And NYC has that sometimes. He does, because he's doing something that he doesn't absolutely like to do. He's working a 9 to 5 that he doesn't really actually like to do, and when he comes home, he's exhausted. He doesn't want to do anything, even though this is what he likes to do. He's exhausted. Am I right?
Yeah, got a point.
But what I want to do is get to this point where this channel, and we want to find out what works and what people really like to listen to. I mean, I really want to motivate people here, and really like to get people where they want to be. I want to be, you know, we want to give you advice. We want to get you where, I mean, like I got a lot of experience in business, and I got a lot of experience, and I know what works and what doesn't work, and because I've been there, and I have a lot of opinions apparently too. So you know, I think it's right. And that's probably the arrogant out of me, but we're trying to make it work too. But anyways, BYC out. We'll see you guys. Hopefully, we'll have another channel next week. Of course, we're doing one every week. Just don't know when yet, because again, that's that time we're trying to figure out exactly. But we'll have one every week, so just stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell us what you want to focus on in hypnosis. I mean, I can help whatever I can. And then YC, you know, I don't know. Anyway, YC, we're gonna do that food thing next week, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna do the video next week, and we'll probably have it upcoming the week after. So you guys watch out for that. Stinky tofu, and look up stinky tofu. You're talking about people stink.